for some reason I just kept getting buffering issues, so I just redid the connection. All right. So make sure you guys go to part one, watch that first, then come back to this one. All right. Anyway, to answer the question that was asked about having simultaneous turns, it sounds like to me, from what I can tell, that the game master in your game that wants to move combat quickly is thinking that initiative is what's making things go too slowly. But I don't think that's what it is. I think that maybe they're just having problems with calculations, because remember, you got to do attack versus armor and stuff like that. Maybe there's something that they can visit. I wouldn't really know unless like I watch them doing combat, unless I actually watch a game master and how they determine how combat goes. I wouldn't really be able to make a judgment on what they can do to make things go faster. These dudes are about to run a compressor right next to me, by the way, so that's going to be fun. That's not that loud. Okay. So yeah, basically, that's what I would say. I would say it sounds like your game master is trying to make combat go quickly and is taking too much time with it. So maybe there's something they can do to revisit it and change it. I don't think initiative is what's wrong with it, to make it quickly. But yeah, that's it. What's up, Glenn? Good to see you. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. I'm just here at work doing my thing and decided to go live to chat with you guys. So I hope that works out. Sorry to everybody that was having issues with my phone. I'm out in the elements, so I'm at the mercy of T-Mobile's satellites when it comes to internet connection. But please feel free to ask any questions. And like I've said before, if you guys have any questions for James Hutt from Artel Sorian, JonJonTheWise@gmail.com. Email me your questions and I will add it to our list for the Night City Council, which, by the way, it's been a lot of fun doing. James is like really getting into the groove of it. He's enjoying it. I can't believe we've done it for over a year and like I didn't even know. That's so crazy. You know what I mean? It's been like a really fun opportunity to be a part of it and everything. So, Kurayo. Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What are we doing today? Just joined Discord, but I've been watching for a bit. Well, right now we're just chilling, chatting, listening to you guys. I want to hear your questions, see what's going on with everybody. What's up, Pierce? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Nice to finally catch you live, says Glenn. I'm currently recovering from a serious accident, but I'm getting better. Oh my God, dude. Are you okay? Shit, man. I'm glad you're doing better. I'm sorry about your accident. I'm glad you're okay, dude. That's scary, man. What's the most hilarious result of someone rolling a 1 in your games? Shit, man. The most hilarious result of 1. There's definitely like the grenade that just like falls to your feet. You want to throw the grenade and it falls to your feet, or being locked out of a computer that you're trying to hack. That's always fun. I think the funnest thing is when the player rolls a 1 and the NPC rolls a 1. So they both fail terribly, but one of them fails worse than the other. That happened in our Under the Crimson Sky. But the grenade is like the main thing. Like you throw a grenade and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get all these guys. It falls to your feet and messes you up and your buddies, and you're like, oh my God, catastrophic failure basically is what it is. That's happened to me. I'm trying to think of anything else that pops up. Usually it's kind of like sad and scary whenever someone rolls a 1, because in Cyberpunk you can lose your character really easily. So when like 1s go around, people get nervous. You know what I mean? Pierre said, I finally lost my media character to cyber psychosis. LOL, I became the boss fight. That's funny, man. Oh my God. That's nuts. You got to watch out with that, man. That's why I always tell I tell my players that you have to have at least a 2 in empathy or more, or basically you are on the verge of cyber psychosis, and like I got to take your character sheet away, because even if you have a 1 in empathy, you're technically not cyber psycho, but you're like 1 incident away from becoming cyber psycho. And by the way, I wanted to say, Kurayo, thank you so much for joining the Discord. It's great to have you a part of our community. So welcome. Um, Glenn said, I had a skiing accident, crashed into a tree. Oh my God. 4 days, extremely lucky to be walking. Oh my God, dude. Broken ribs can lead to collapsed lungs, punctured lungs, dude. It's very scary. I'm so glad you're okay. Please don't ski anymore. Let it go. No more skiing, please. For the love of God, it's so dangerous. Think about how fucking insane it is to ski, guys. But yeah, that's fun, man. I mean, that's not fun that you got in an accident, but I get it. You want to go out there, you want to go be in nature, but please be careful, Glenn. We need you. Kurayo, if we're asking questions, I asked this on the Telsorian Discord, but wanted another input. If you get artificial shoulder mount, do you lose humanity from the artificial shoulder mount and the cyber arms you attach, or just the artificial shoulder mount? This is a rules question that I don't have on hand, so I'm not sure the humanity cost. I think every component of cyberware has a humanity cost, whatever it is. So I get your logic because it's like I already have the cyber arm. Why would I lose more humanity if I just put something on top of the cyber arm? Maybe so. Like as a game master, I would say like, yeah, you're right. That does logically, maybe that. But then again, it can be argued that like the more machinery you have on you, the more you go into this like idea, because cyberpsychosis is psychosomatic, right? It's not real. It's like something in your head. So maybe the more stuff you keep adding to your body, you just think to yourself like, I'm becoming more of a machine, even though it's not actually affecting you biologically. It is affecting you mentally. It's affecting you that like you just keep adding things and making yourself like an ultimate toaster. You know what I mean? So I would ask the game master if it's gonna like bring you down to cyber psychosis. As a game master, I'd let it go. But if you have some empathy to give up, I would say yeah, it's gonna cost you like at least a little bit of empathy. You know what I mean? So that's my advice. I don't know what rules as written is though, so it's good to check that out. Oh, thanks for the welcome. I like seeing everyone talk. It's interesting. Yeah, this is a great community. Everybody's very loving and welcoming. So you are where you belong. All right, you belong as a part of this community. So thank you. I'm a ski instructor, which makes it more embarrassing. It's not embarrassing, dude. It's not, because you're literally on the slopes every day. Like statistically, you're gonna run into a fucking tree, right? If you're on the slopes all the time, every day, you're bound to have an accident. You're more likely to have an accident than people that are skiing for the first time, I think, because it's just a numbers game. You know how many countless hours you're on the slopes. It's gonna fucking happen, right? Looking back on it, it would have been so much cooler if a trauma team picked me up. Yeah. All right, artificial shoulder mount is a 14 plus 14 from two cyber arms. I still want to have my natural set of arms. Gotcha. I think rules as written is I take the full 28 loss if we use the given amount. Jesus Christ, that's a lot to take. That's almost 3 empathy. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot, man. Okay, as a game master, I might just cut it in half and say like, yeah, you'll just take 14. I don't know. It just depends. Like the humanity loss is there for a reason. It's also to like balance the game. Like having 2 shoulder mounted weapons is really scary, you know what I mean? Because I think they're concealable, right? They're collapsible, like it can pop out and stuff like that. So there has to be some kind of downside, but I don't know, man. It's all in a case to case situation. I would say like, how are you playing your character? Are you trying to make them a Terminator? If that's the case, then I'd be like, yeah, man, you got to take the full humanity loss because it's a big thing. You know what I mean? But if you're like, it's not worth it, and it's not the way I want to play my character, then as a game master, I might work with you. I think it's really important that game masters give leeway for their players. I've been accused of being like a pushover game master or too nice is what I've heard. But I'd argue that that's the best way to play anyway, because it's like there's plenty of ways for your characters to die and be in disadvantageous positions. So it's not a big deal if I throw you a bone here and there, because that just means I just have to get more challenges. You know what I mean? You can have all the cyberware you want and have no humanity loss, But the next two bad guys you fight might have EMP grenades. So it's like good luck with all that cyberware. You know what I mean? So it's not like an overpowered character can't be cut down by the GM. You know what I mean? It just means that the game master has to be a little bit more creative in how they deal with things. And remember, in Cyberpunk, every action has a consequence. So if you have a shoulder mounted weapon and you're walking around, rumor gets around that, hey, there's this Terminator dude that's like literally got guns on his shoulders walking around town, and then some dude that attracts attention, whatever attention that may be. Maybe some booster gangers want to kill you, chop you up, and take your pieces, or maybe C SWAT is like, call the Cyber Psycho squad. We're gonna take this guy out. He's definitely gonna be Cyber Psycho. At least detain him so we can interview him, because we got all these reportings of a dude with shoulder-mounted weapons. So unwanted attention is what that's gonna attract, and that is the consequence of having cool shoulder-mounted weapons. Is what I would tell my players. Glenn Bailey. So, quick question. Would you consider doing a basic playthrough on net running? I watched your video about net running, but I learned better visually. So, watching how a game master and player work together to do a net run would be so much easier to understand. Yeah, I've gotten this question before, and actually, Binary Dragon, who plays Kane, our net runner in our game and Under the Crimson Sky, he was like, we should do a video about net running. So, maybe we should do that. I'll do that. And oh no, you know what? Oh, no, 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 no. I totally forgot. Scratch all that, dude. James and I are going to do that. We already talked about it. There's going to be a DLC coming out. I think it's a DLC, not a supplement, about net running. So he said when that DLC comes out, we should run some net running together. And I said, yeah, yeah, for sure. So I think that's what we're going to do. So it's coming up soon. Don't worry. We're going to be doing that soon. I don't know when. So, but it'll be very soon. That's what he told me. So, fair enough. Way I see it is, I just need 2 more arms to my natural set because 4 arms is cool. Yeah, you could totally do that too. That's fucking awesome. Because I saw the build video you did from Hut. I was gonna do a martial arts tech with linear frame, Sigma, and ASM for forearm. Break your bones flavor. Jesus Christ. I mean, immediately, hello, police. Yeah, there's a 4-armed lunatic that's breaking bones in the city. Yeah, okay, don't worry. C-SWAT's on their way. The Cyber Psycho Squad's on the way. Don't worry about it. Fucking AV4s are here, armor piercing rounds, chain hounds. Yeah, all kinds of crazy shit, dude. We gotta take you out. You know what I mean? But like I said, there's every action has a consequence. If you're walking around with a linear frame and shoulder mounted weapons and 4 arms, people are gonna be like, excuse me, sir. I know this is the dark future, but you look scary. We're not gonna let you live. Gotta kill you. Thank you. Pierce Navarro says, when I role play my media character, he started off with good intentions, wanting to defend his team, but with cybernetics, but his views shifted to wanting more upgrades to be a better killer. Ah, that's the cyber psychosis talking. So I get it, man. Have you tried playing CPL Cyberpunk Red using the models and a playmat? Yeah, Glenn, I have. The thing about it is, playmats are cool. I have this playmat that I'm probably going to implement in our Under the Crimson Sky game, because one of my players was saying it would be cool if we had some kind of visual. For me, it takes me out of the immersion if the battlefield is not like really well done, like if there isn't like really good terrain, really good models, or miniatures, then it kind of takes me out of the game, and I'm like, I'd rather just do theater of the mind if that's the case. But I can see the merit to having a playmat, because then you can like judge like who's close, who's far, who's standing where tactically, advantageously, and stuff like that. So I would say work with your group, see what people need. I always default to theater of the mind first, unless we're doing like, roll 20 and stuff like that. When we're doing like roll 20 and foundry, or any virtual tabletop, then yeah, I love using battle maps and stuff like that. It's like it works well for that kind of stuff. So I would recommend that. But if you're playing in person, I'd want everything to look really good. You know what I mean? I want good terrain. I want to use the terrain. I want to use the miniatures. But that takes a lot of preparation time. That's the thing about it. Unless you have a shitload of terrain in your garage or in storage somewhere, and that you could just have it on hand, because that's like a whole hobby in itself, by the way. Like terrain and miniatures and battle mats, that's a whole hobby in itself. If you're just like good at putting that stuff together, you love doing it, more power to you, dude. But for me, I have limited time, and if I can give a good experience for my players without having to spend 12 hours to try to come up with a battle plan, then I go for it. Also, you could spend 12 hours to make a battle mat and terrain and everything. You bring it, you put it on the table, and your players are like, "Hey, I feel bad, but like we want to go on like a tangent and like do this or that." And it's like all those 12 hours are for nothing. You know what I mean? So it's a risk and reward kind of thing. I might do it for like the final fight. You know what I mean? Like you're at the last boss, and it's like we all know we're here. Like last session ended with the all of us walking into this building, so I might be like, okay, then I know that I just have to make this building. You know what I mean? So I'll go home. I'll sketch it together. I'll try to put some terrain together and stuff like that, and see if we can make it happen. So yeah, that's my advice: is use it sometimes. But yeah, I've done it before. I like it. To be honest with you, like I play Warhammer 40K, so I love that experience. Warhammer 40K is all about the battle mat. It's all about the miniatures, it's all about the terrain. It's putting it together on the table visually. And that's why it's such a fun game to me, is because of that immersion value. So if I don't get the same thing with my Cyberpunk game, I feel like I'm losing out. You know what I mean? That's a fair point. I'm struggling to use Roll20 at the moment, playing over Discord, and use Theater of the Mind and hand-drawn maps. That's totally fine, man. As long as everybody's having fun, who cares? You know what I mean? You can, that way you can spend your energy and time on focusing on making things work. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to like get a battle map and stuff like that. You just go straight into it. Like Theater of the Mind is the best tool because you have it on hand at all times. So that's what I love about it. Oh wait, with muscle bone lace, it's another 14, so it's 56 total humanity loss. Yeah, so in my game, you would need to have eight in your empathy, because if you have anything lower than a 2, I consider your character either cyber psycho or on the verge of cyber psychosis, which means that any stressful situation will make you cyber psycho, and your liability on the group. And basically the other players' characters will be like, I don't want to hang out with this guy. He's like about to go cyber psycho. Why would I hang out with him? Why would I go on, like really delicate stealth missions with this cyber psycho? So I would tell you, like, you have to have at least an 8 in your empathy to make it work. But you can make it work, by the way. Javier Moronio. Javier Moronio. Bienvenidos. ¿Cómo está? The one thing I don't like from VTTs is how battle maps are trying to fill in all the details as opposed to letting the players use their imagination for that. Too board game like. Yeah, definitely. I totally get what you're saying on that. That's why I usually tell my players, like, hey, the battle map is here, but it's not everything that's on there. You know what I mean? Like, if you come up with like something creatively, then you can ask me, like, hey, is there like a lift, a powered lift in this factory? Or hey, is there a button I can press to make this conveyor belt go? It might not be like on the map, but you can add it with Theater of the Mind. But battle maps, definitely, that's one of the, I've done a video called Theater of the Mind versus battle maps, and that was one of the negative effects. Is I think that battle maps limit your imagination, because you're like, everything's already on the table, it's on the screen, why should I add stuff like that? I butchered your name? No way, dude. I'm a fluent Spanish speaker, so Meronio. It's not Meronio? Javier Meronio. I speak Spanish fluently, dude. How did I fuck that up? You got to tell me how we say your name. Javier Meronio. Wait, are you? You might be Brazilian. If it's Portuguese, it might be a little different. Spanish is not my first language, by the way. It's my fifth language. But now I'm curious to know how I'm supposed to say it. So please enlighten me. Glenn Bailey, what 40k army do you collect? I have a Steel Legion army. Hell yeah! Haven't played in a few years, but I enjoy painting the models, dude. I collect Thousand Suns. That's my main mod. That's my main army. I have like over 2,000 points, like 4,000 points. I have Black Legion is my second highest army, and I have Zinch Demons. Those are the three that I'm collecting right now. When the World Eaters Codex comes out, I'm hoping to collect that. If they do a really good Renegades and Heretics Codex, I'll be collecting Renegade Guard as well. The R is a bit softer. It's not RR, it's R. So, Javier Meronio. 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 It's not Meronio, it's Meronio. So, Meronio. Did I say it right? Meronio. Anyway, yeah, those are the armies that I collect. I love Warhammer. It's the best. Heresy. Hell yeah, Heresy. And proud of it. Mr. Skull Baby, my players managed to send a cyber psycho to therapy, and now they're trying to take my serial killer and turn him into a normal person by sending him to community college. Aw, who says Cyberpunk isn't wholesome? That's fun. How many languages do you know? English, Armenian, Farsi, Assyrian, and Spanish. Those are the 5 languages that I speak. English, Armenian, and English, Armenian, and Spanish are my 3 highest languages. I live in South LA, or in Los Angeles, Southern California. So I'm Armenian. I'm Persian Armenian, and I grew up speaking Armenian and English. And then my wife is Mexican, married her, and was able to learn Spanish working with her father and stuff like that. So like I speak fluent Spanish because of that. So yeah, that's it. Moreno, Moreno. Oh, sorry, not Moreno. Meronio. Javier Meronio. Where are you from, Javier? I would love to know. I highly recommend Star Wars Legion. Check it out. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love System of a Down. Hell yeah. Those guys are legends. Uh, Star Wars Legion is cool. I've seen it. I thought about collecting it. It's really cheap to get into. Like, way cheaper than Warhammer. You can have, like, a whole army for, like, under $200. And I think if you buy, like, the core set, which is, like, $100, you get, like, 2 armies that can just play against each other. It's really cool. I like it. I like the way it plays. It looks really fun and interesting. The problem isn't playing the games. I would love to play the games. The problem is having the goddamn time. I'm too busy with this Cyberpunk shit, and then I got into Warhammer. Like, what was I fucking thinking getting into Warhammer? I have no time for anything. Like, I barely have time for anything. I paint like one model. I paint like up to 3 models a week, like at most, because I just don't have a lot of time. España. I live in London, but I'm from Madrid, Spain. Awesome, dude. I would love to go to Spain. I would love to go there. It's so cool knowing English and Spanish because if you think about it, you can go to so many countries in the world if you know English and Spanish. So many countries. You could literally just walk into most countries. Dude, I'll tell you guys a crazy story. I used to work for a big cable company, knocking door to door trying to sell cable. Worst job of my life. I've done worse, but it's really bad. It's such a terrible job. But anyway, I go up to this dude's house, big giant house on the hill. I'm walking up the hill, huffing and puffing. Get to the front door. It's a nice palatial estate. I knock on the door, and a Korean gentleman, older Korean gentleman, opens the door. And I say like, "Hi, I'm from blah blah blah, and I want to see if you guys are interested in buying cable." And the guy's like, "I don't speak English, Korean guy," and I'm like, I don't, shit, I don't know Korean, I know like a few words here and there, but I don't really know Korean." And he said, "Wait, you Spanish?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Armenian, but like I do actually happen to know Spanish." And me and this guy spoke Spanish to each other. He's Korean and he knows Spanish. I guess he owns some kind of business where he has a lot of Hispanic employees, so he knows Spanish fluently, and I know Spanish fluently because of like kind of the same reason. And so me and this guy are in the United States. He's Korean. I'm Armenian. He doesn't know English, but we both know Spanish, and we spoke to each other in Spanish. It was the craziest fucking situation. I've never been through that in my life. But yeah, that's the world, isn't it? But anyway, 40K equals plastic crack. Yeah, for sure, dude. It's ridiculous, dude. It's so insane. But you know what, man? It brings me so much joy. It's great on the mantelpiece. I love it. I love like all the models, looking at them. I love the stories and everything. You don't want to get me into talking 40K. I could literally talk 40K forever. If you guys are into 40K and you have a TikTok, follow me on TikTok. I post a lot of 40K stuff on like almost exclusively 40K stuff on TikTok. Javier says, I agree with the English Spanish combo. Learning English fluently allowed me to work in films, which is my current hobby. Oh yeah, that's amazing, dude. That's great. Awesome. Yeah, dude, it's the best. You would be surprised how far you can get in life just by knowing a little bit of a different language. You know what I mean? Like, for example, there's a Korean again. There's a Korean liquor store by my house, and the guy in there is like really like serious Korean man. That's like a trope with older Korean gentlemen, like super serious, doesn't crack any jokes, nothing. And I would always come in, big films like big blockbusters. Oh shit, hell yeah, dude. But anyway, I walked in and I would always say hi, how are you? He would give me nothing, like grunts and stuff like that. So one day I walked in and I was like "안녕하세요," which is like the formal way of saying hello in Korean, and he just like looked at me like, what the fuck? And what's up, Chum? Good to see you, Bad Mama Jamma 37. And I was like, yeah, 안녕하세요. I bought my stuff. I got to the end. I said 감사합니다, which means thank you. And I walked out, right? Come back the next day, and he's like, now he wants to chat me up. He's like, where did you learn Korean? How do you know Korean? I told him, like, dude, I barely know Korean. Like, I just know a few words here and there. And he was like all cheery and happy. And like, now he like talks to me and is like I'm a regular customer. Even though I go there like all the time, it wasn't until I said hello and thank you in Korean that he started treating me differently. So you'd be surprised how much you can get done and how you can connect with people if you just know their language. And that's why I'm like so grateful that I know Spanish. Like I could literally go to like any Latin American country and just walk around and be okay. You know what I mean? Like I can get to places, order food, whatever I want, converse with people, you know? Love to work in the film scene, building sets. I'm currently in the British Army as a combat engineer. Oh man, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, the whole film industry is great. I work in construction, so a lot of these construction guys, they move on to doing like, if they want to like take a break from like doing grueling labor, they go and they work for like film sets, and they make a pretty good living, man. And they work a lot, dude. They work a lot. So you make good money, you're out there, it's good experience, and especially if you work with a good crew, you guys get a good reputation and you always have work, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's it. I don't know how we got off talking cyberpunk, but I don't mind, dude. Whatever you guys have to chat about, I'm here. I'm ready to talk about it. Let me see if these guys are. I'm over here at a job, just making sure everything's okay. Yeah, everything looks okay. So yeah, that's basically the sitch. I have tried to implement the like Spanish and stuff in my cyberpunk games. It's cool when you can like use it to like emulate different character types tropes like Hector. We all know who Hector is from the Fast and Furious series. If you want to bring that character out, you can always do that. He's perfect for cyberpunk, right? I'm a bricklayer within the army, but hardly touch it. Mainly build bridges and blow things up. Oh, nice. Are you what's considered a sapper? I've always seen those in video games and just wondered what the hell that is. That's cool, man. Yeah. Um, you guys are very needed, much needed in the army. Corps of Engineers, right? Is that what they call it? The Army Corps of Engineers. I think that's the United States version of that. I just remember playing Company of Heroes and all the engineers were called sappers. Was it end? Yeah, I think so. Hell yeah, John. There you go. I work in visual effects CGI. Oh man, that's insane, dude. That's amazing. So do you work from home, or do you work on site? Do you work in an office? Um, and is there? Can you tell us what you're working on? You know, I won't tell anyone. It's only live on YouTube. No one knows. Then I can't edit it out. But just tell us. The movie industry's so secretive, dude. It's so secretive. I used to work for this company where this was like the best job of my life, and I fucked it up and ruined it because I fell asleep on the job. But I used to watch movies for a living. Basically, I would before a movie goes out to like DVD and Blu-ray, the actual DVDs and Blu-rays need to be tested for their functionality, quality assurance testing. And that's what I would do. Like I would make sure all the menus work, the subtitles work, there's no like audio delay and stuff like that. And most of like almost 90% of the time there was never anything wrong, but somebody still, a human being, has to like test it, you know what I mean, before it goes out to the store. Like for example, we had one a star I think it was a series of Star Wars Clone Wars, the animated series, and the French audio stream was like completely silent, and it went out to the shelves. So everybody in Canada that speaks French, or in North America, they would buy it and they're like, "Wee wee, let me check out my Star Wars." They put it on, it's mute, nothing. And that went out to public. Like we really fucked up. Someone got in real trouble for that. But I lost my job there because think about this: you're in a dark room. It's 7 a.m. So if you're not like sleeping on time, which I wasn't, I was a dumb idiot at the time. Uh, you have headphones on, loud headphones. It's dark. You're in a room, headphones, TV, comfortable chair. How do you not fall asleep? I fell asleep too many times, and I got fired. What's up, Punk? Good to see you. Sorry you have to leave, but I'm glad to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Now hybrid, mostly from home. Used to be at the office. I work for a big VFX company called DNEG. We got 6 of the last 8 Academy Awards for visual effects. Holy fuck. No way. Wow, dude. That's amazing. Congrats, dude. What an amazing accomplishment for you guys. That's a big deal. Dude, I love it when I meet people throughout this whole like community that are so much more important than me. For example, shout out to Alex. He's in our Patreon game. He's a patron of mine. The guy is like a legitimate archaeologist. Like he's flown out by his university. Like, hey, there's like an archaeological dig in China. Go check it out. And like he goes there like Jurassic Park style. And his name is Dr. Peterson. Okay, I kind of doxed him. My bad. But he he is a legitimate doctor, and he's like, no, I'm not a doctor. I'm like, you have a PhD, dude. You're a fucking doctor. You're important. And then the guy, balls of fucking steel, he has military experience. He served in the military. He volunteered to go to Ukraine to train Ukrainians how to use American weapons and stuff like that, like just basic training kind of stuff. Balls of steel. This guy goes to an active war zone on his own dime to help Ukrainians. It's way more important than anything that I ever do, dude. Glenn Bailey, John, have you thought about writing your own official campaign or tried making a new job role? Yeah, I do. I have a world book that I'm working on. I just don't have enough time. It's the unfortunate thing. I don't have enough time, nor do I know how to do it. I'm hoping like somebody like comes up to me and says like, "Hey, I want to do it for you." Like just tell me what you want to do and I'll do it for you. And I hope that person's really good at doing that because I want it to be a good product. But I have like a world. If you guys watch Under the Crimson Sky, my actual play series, you'll get a peek into that world. That's my own homebrew Cyberpunk Red world. It takes place in Texas, and I'm really hoping that I can get that out to the public for free, or if Artel Soren wants to buy it, then that's the other route. If they want to license it or whatever, or give the license. I don't know exactly what the stupid terminology is. Anyway, if they want to be a part of it, that would be cool in the future. But I just don't have enough time, man. Blame Warhammer. Want to thank you for your channel. It's been being awesome to help me getting immersed into Cyberpunk Red. Hey, man, I'm so happy to do that. Seriously, Javier. I'm so happy to be able to help you guys out. Yo, what's up, Dave? Good to see you, buddy. Thank you. But yeah, it's I'm so happy to do that, man. Like seriously, if I can help anybody in this community get them to be able to wrap their mind around the game, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you, and I'm happy to do it. Thank you for the support. I wouldn't be able to do it without your support, so I really appreciate it. Bad Mama Jamma says my new character is a rocker boy stand-up comic. I'm working on writing a tight 5 minute routine. That's cool. I like that. That's fun. That's good. I mean, nowadays, comedians are famous because of their podcasts. I'm one of those people that listens to podcasts. I love podcasts from comedians because sometimes you just want to laugh, and they're entertaining. Who knew that somebody that can stand on stage and talk for an hour and make everyone laugh is also entertaining on a podcast? I found that most of them are more entertaining on podcasts than they are like in their actual stand up. And I've also realized that live stand up is way more entertaining than, any kind of stand up specials. It's like very few stand up specials out there that are just like so good. But most of the time, I'd rather see them in person or listen to them on a podcast. But yeah, that being said, yeah, Rocker Boy works perfectly for them. They go around, tell jokes for a living, and try to lighten up the mood. I love that because Cyberpunk needs that kind of stuff. Guys with cyber eyes walk like this, but guys without cyber eyes walk like this. That's funny. You might be a cyber psycho if. Oh man, that's funny. That's good. I like that. Maybe I'll dual class with media. Yeah, you could definitely do that. The thing is that media in Cyberpunk Red is really like highly focused on investigative journalism for some reason because of the whole mechanic of rumors. The rumor mechanic is what makes the media who they are in Cyberpunk Red. For those of you that don't know, the media role, you're the game master basically like gives you a plot point. Like they basically give you a cheat to the plot point because you're a media. They have somebody that hits you up and says like, "Hey, that big warehouse you're trying to hit? Well, I would be careful because that's actually it's not just a regular warehouse. That is an Arasaka facility. That is like a covert one. All right. You didn't hear it from me. Bye. Click." So that's something a media would have learned that the players would have had to learn on their own, but the media learned it. I guess if they're like at some kind of like corporate shindig with like a bunch of celebrities and stuff like that, then maybe they'll hear some rumors there. I'm getting a lot of buffering, so I think never you ever notice the spot Saburo Arasaka has? Is it actually a star chart? Dave, it sounds like you had these in the chamber for a while. Make sure you guys check out Gamers on Games, great YouTube channel from Dave. He has some actually like some cool interviews too with James and stuff. Good stuff, really good stuff. Dave is a great guy, champion of the people. I always say. Well, guys, I think that's about it. I've talked enough today. I'm sure you guys are also tired of me talking, or maybe not. If there's any more questions, I'll leave it. I'll leave another like minute or two for any like questions. If you guys want to squeeze it in, I'll be happy to answer it. But yeah, man, I'm so happy to be able to connect with you guys. I'm sorry I don't do this more often. I'm gonna try to do it at least once a week. And I sorry I don't have any new content like any of my like usual videos like that are under 15 minutes. I had a video, it didn't come out good. I had to scrap it, so I apologize about that. But it is what it is. Mr. Skull Baby, when it comes to multi-classing, are there any other restrictions aside from that you have to commit at least 4 levels to your multi-class? Yeah, actually, the other thing is that your character is now considered whatever that multi-class level is. So, like, let's say you were a netrunner, and then you wanted to put some into tech and multi-class into tech. Well, now you are considered a tech. Like, you can still do net running and stuff like that, but to the outside world, people know you as a tech, not as a net runner. So that's the only other restriction. What does that mean? That doesn't really mean anything. It's just a narrative thing. So like narrative people are like, yeah, that guy's a tech. He's not a net runner. He knows how to net run, but really his passion is being a tech. So that's what it is. So the idea is like if you were a solo and then you multi-class as a lawman, then people are like, yeah, that train killer is actually a cop. You know what I mean? He's not just a train killer. The other way around, you're a lawman, you multi-class as a solo. They're like, yeah, that guy, he might be a cop, but really he's just a train killer. So that's like all it is. It's like a narrative thing, like how people perceive you throughout the cyberpunk universe. So that's pretty much it. I don't think there's any other commitment that you have to make. Thanks for the great conversation. I learned a ton from these. Happy to do it, J Day. Happy to be able to have great conversations with you guys. I love it. So thank you for all for liking, commenting, subscribing. Thank you all for giving a share. I appreciate you all. I hope you all the best. I hope you all have wonderful games. You find cool people. You become part of a great hobby. And I hope it helps your mental health in every way possible, as much as it's helped me. And I wish you all nothing but happiness and success. All right, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you. Take care. See you later. Bye.